Tina Kim started her stand-up career in New York City and eventually started producing her own one-woman shows and sold-out venues in New York, Boston, San Francisco, and Chicago. A Seattle native, she has traveled the world doing stand-up comedy, performed at hundreds of colleges and events, and produced many shows over the last 15 years. Tina Kim, welcome to the Games and Writers Show.
Yeah, hey Craig.
How are you?
I'm good. Wow, it's like I've done a lot, but then it seems like I haven't done much. It's because I was ahead of my time. My first comedy CD was in 2003.
Wow.
That's
That
what I
long
would
ago.
say. Yeah, so I feel like I'm maybe 12 years too early.
Well, what the hell have you been doing all this time?
I guess, wow, that was 15. Now it's like been 17 years ago. That first 10 years of my life, I had so much energy. I was so gung-ho. I mean, I was a trailblazer. Margaret
Yeah.
Cho inspired me, and I was go, go, go. I got Budweiser. I got Crown Royal to sponsor me. I mean, I did so many things. And then in the last, I think, 5 years, I kind of lost my drive. I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I know I'm talented and I know people love me, and I always had big crowds supporting me. And I got to California because Last Comic Standing brought me out here for that first season. And I'm not stupid. They wanted Asians for that dat fam thing. And then I just kind of kept getting jaded because it's not really talent. It's kind of what the industry or the market wants at the time. But that's what brought me out to Los Angeles was Last Comic Standing. And then I was gung-ho. And then just being around the negativity of angry comics and things like that made me take a step back and go, I'm actually a happy person that has people skills, and I don't think I'm a narcissist. So in the last 5.5 years, I kind of lost my drive.
Yeah, there's something ironic about comics who often do seem very angry.
Yes.
so,
Uh-huh.
so
And
it's
as
nice.
a female comic, when I started, it's only me and then a bunch of guys. And
Yeah.
there's no human resources in stand-up comedy. And nobody you can go tell that somebody's being sexually harassed.
Right.
Like, I'm just hanging out and guys are in the green room. I'm talking about, effing this and their dicks. And I don't know if I can swear, but I just have to sit there.
Yeah, this is an internet show, so we have way more freedom. So help
Okay.
yourself. So, but I mean, you are a trailblazer in a lot of ways. Your comedy, for example, it's often about your own life experiences as a Korean woman, and then specifically as a Korean woman in comedy. How difficult was it for you to break into the comedy scene?
Well, I guess I have broken in, and at the same time, I feel I haven't broken. It's weird. When I started stand-up comedy in New York, I took a class, and then I saw how all these clubs, they just want you to bring people so that they can get the cover chart and the 2-drink minimum. They don't care if you're funny or not. We'll put you on that Monday night, 6 o'clock show, as long as you can bring 10 paying customers. And so then I kind of saw that business side, and then like I said, people liked me and they wanted to come see me. And then clubs didn't book me because they thought I was a good comic. They booked me because I can bring people who are going to pay. And then that's when I said, F that. I will rent my own little theater and I'll bring my fans who will pay, and then I can pay the theater and make my money. And since I was doing that and selling out shows, eventually colleges started contacting me. So for about 5 years, I did a lot of colleges. And thank God for May, that Asian American month, because that's when I would make my bank.
It's like Christmas for retailers.
Yeah, and I had so much fun, and all the people that I've met, things like that. But like I said, I feel like my time was too early because now look at all the Asian Americans. They're more in the spotlight. BTS is the biggest Korean boy band, all that. That's why my energy's back. I'm back. and I'm gonna be hardcore back again at it. And it's funny because some of my friends, they're like, "Hey, Tina, I forget who the girl is." They're like, "That Asian girl's using your jokes from your 2003 comedy album." They're like, "Ah!" you know. And I used to have my DVDs all on YouTube, like my
Mm,
1 hour shows. But then somebody was like, "Tina, take it down because people will steal it. You're not famous." And so that's why I took down a lot of things and only keep a couple jokes on the YouTube that are the same jokes because then that's
right.
it.
So I was gonna ask, what? How do you explain maybe your path back? Like, how do you see your path back into it?
My path back into it now,
Hmm.
now that it's all about YouTube and
Hmm.
Instagram, I am going to be now putting all my comedy jokes into skit form. And I
Okay.
bought my DSLR camera, I did all that. And so now I'm just going to be having my own YouTube channel. I want to do my stand up comedy and sketches. I'll post some of my live stand up shows. And being a woman in her 40s, I'll promote 40-year-old woman products.
Yay.
That's what I'll do. But the good thing about me is everyone, like young, old, I relate to everybody. And so it's not like, oh, she's an old person or she's an Asian woman or this. I relate to everyone. It's just, I don't know, my personality. And
Mm.
it's always just been that way.
You really do cross demographics. Even on the listening to the 2003 album, and
Uh-huh.
I could tell that back then it was just like it was applicable to everyone. Like I'm a straight white guy, and I'm like, this
Uh-huh.
person's hilarious.
Thank
And
you.
the album was over, and I was like, now I have to find more. And I was like, where's the rest? I want more.
Oh,
So I'm
and then
glad to
I do
hear.
have this one.
Oh, awesome,
2005. Wow, my eyes. I got all. 2005, I did single Asian female.
awesome.
2005, holy moly. And guess what? I'm still a single Asian female. But now my jokes are even better because it's I feel in my age group, the men that are still single is going to be the leftovers. And I like the leftovers. So it's the crazy thing is my jokes from the past, they're not like political. My jokes are timeless. And now
Right.
they're only going to be even bigger and more full because who knew I was going to be at 40s dealing with being single again and these leftovers. And I still want to date an Asian guy, but now it's even worse because Asian guys are good. They're already married with kids by the time they're 40. Okay. I'll never have a chance to meet an Asian man now.
Well, it's interesting you talk, and I think you're right about take going at it from YouTube and sketches and whatnot. I mean, that's basically what my channel is doing as well.
Yes.
Going to ride some of
Yes.
that way. So I think that's awesome, and I want you to know up front that we are. I mean, it's not like not like we're a great ally to have, but we're definitely behind you and want you to see you
Wonderful.
succeed. And anything we can do to help, absolutely don't hesitate to ask.
The crazy thing is, I had my YouTube channel 15 years ago. I got the URL Tina Kim because my name is so common. And I said, I'm going to get back on YouTube. I went on like 6 months ago and I already had a bunch of subscribers and I wasn't very active. But from all the things that I've done,
Hmm.
I had a lot of subscribers. And then I didn't know Google bought YouTube. And then it looked like I had all these channels. I go, I only have one channel. So then I went and deleted it. And oh my God, I deleted my YouTube channel. But it's all right. I'll start all over. Got to get my subscribers up. And then I probably can't get Tina Kim, but I'll just stick with my TK comic on social media stuff now.
What a terrible, horrifying story.
But it's okay. I'm going to start all over again.
It'll be better.
Tina Kim
So
2.0.
yeah,
Tina
there you
Kim
go.
2.0. And I'm excited that I'm back because I do have a lot of fans and stuff that write me and go, Tina, what happened to you? Where are you? You got to keep it going. But like I said, you get jaded sometimes. But
Yeah.
now I have my own control. I'll create my own content and I'll be just fine. Not waiting for somebody to give me a break.
Right.
'Cause
No.
that's really what,
And that's the beauty
like,
of it. I mean, this has happened in a lot of areas, like publishing, for example,
uh-huh.
and it's just the gatekeepers have begun to be removed, and I cannot
Yes.
help but think that's a good, good thing. It's certainly
Yeah.
good for me, and it's good for a lot of other creators who,
Yes. 'Cause we're
prior to this,
creators. That's what it is.
yes, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, and you're right. You have to sit around and wait for somebody to give you, yeah,
Yep.
you're, like, why,
I never
you know?
did in the past too. Look, I put my own shows together. I promoted it. I did all that stuff hoping somebody would give me a break.
Right.
But now I'm going to put everything together and do it for myself, not wait for anyone else to give me a break.
Yeah. Enough of this groveling. We're just going to do it ourselves.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm sure that you're a victim of a lot of annoying, stereotypical questions. You talked about being in green rooms at comedy clubs or whatnot, but what's the dumbest, most ignorant question you've ever been asked, besides the ones on this show, of course?
It's really weird because I can't even think anymore because it's been such a long time ago, you know? Society has kind of changed, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid in the late 70s, I guess it's in my comedy as well. It was always people thinking I was Chinese. And when I was a kid, I was always like, why is this? It's always Chinese. Everybody thinks Asian people are Chinese. So that was just like the main thing. But then once you hit I don't know, now people don't ask any ignorant questions. I think that's it. Just being a kid, everyone thinking that I'm Chinese and then making fun of me being Chinese and have slanted eyes, things like that. I'm sure it still goes on now, but not as much because the Asians will come after you.
Right.
When I was growing up, I had no allies. I had nobody. And that's why I think it's such a great world now. People can always find somebody to connect to and relate to. I had nobody to relate to. And, you know.
Well, it's awesome that you've been able to see that shift and that there has been I guess dramatic, a definite shift anyway. So that's fantastic to hear, because from some people that you hear, like, it's always getting worse. I'm like, is it always? I mean, haven't some things improved?
Some things definitely improved. Asian Americans, because of social media, are having, can connect. I don't know if it's great for the actual networks, but with social media, and you can just connect with people like you.
Yeah. It's I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't remember who it was, but somebody was saying about that people don't generally, for example, go to war with people they know, and that was like prior to this globalized society that we have. It was very easy to make somebody the enemy. Because people didn't know about them, of course. So, of course, they could, through propaganda, they could be made to be scary and not like us and whatnot. But through, social media and our globalized society, people are seeing that other people are actually just like them, and people don't change. But I've really enjoyed watching and listening to your comedy lately. It occurred to me that it's kind of tailor-made for a sitcom. Is that something you would ever want to do?
Oh, yes, that's definitely what I've always wanted to do. I even wrote 3 pilots called TinaKim.com, single Asian female, and then the other one was just Tina. And I wrote my pilot 15 years ago, and I guess the great thing is it's still current now, because in my pilot, it's basically my family, but then I would be like a web designer. And it would just be my family yelling at me. And they are still yelling at me because now my mom adds, and you're old. She couldn't add that. But
he has more ammunition.
Get married, get a good job, get a real job, get a husband, have a family. Now you're too old. You can't have a family. Give it up. Move back home. Dad said, I'm lonely. You'll never make it. He's gonna hire an old Asian woman. And I tell my mom, don't worry, there's those commercials for the prescriptions. Eventually I'll get that ad.
Like, Mom, the times have changed. I'm gonna hire myself now.
Exactly.
But am I to assume that through all of this you have developed some interesting dating stories? What was your worst experience?
Crazy thing is, I decided not to date for a while, and I just went on Tinder again. I did it 3 years ago for 1 week, got rid of it, and I went on it again last month. So I just did this as stand-up. I mean, this guy is 42. His main picture, he had a 5 o'clock shadow, and I don't know, maybe 190 pounds. Then I meet him, and he's got a ZZ Top beard, and he's about 70 pounds heavier. And at least ZZ Top had a V formation and could shape the beard. This guy's was all over the place. And I mean, in this day, and then I looked at him and I'm like, was that a Throwback Thursday photo as your main pic? And he's like, yeah, that was about 9 years ago. And I go, so you're smart enough to know that your picture now, you wouldn't be able to meet a girl. So you tricked the girl to meet you now. And so obviously that was pretty bad. And then I'm like, I deleted it. I mean, 15 years ago, we didn't have our phones, so people would put old photos.
Yeah. This
day and age, there's no reason for an old photo to be your main picture. This is my complaint 15 years ago. I can't believe I'm still complaining about it now.
See, humans never change.
It never changes. And I go, luckily, I am studying the Buddhist path and believing in reincarnation, because in my next life, I'm not going to be in this situation. I'm going to be a woman with 5 kids, and my kids are going to be in a band.
Well, I've never really understood the whole putting a inaccurate picture on, because you're gonna meet them, right? I mean, like, they haven't thought it through, clearly.
Again, he was in his 40s, 42. Are you that stupid in your 40s? It's the worst age group to date. And my friend's like, you might have to date in their 20s. And I go, I don't know, I might have to. Exactly. So I just want somebody who's fun and reliable and who has some energy in their face.
Right. I don't know. It's a tall order.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You and your expectations.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my joke, when you're younger, you have all these, list of all the things you want. And now my list is lower, it's just, hey, do you breathe? Okay.
Take your pulse. Okay, you're good. Oh, funny. Well, we've talked about a little bit, but what is next for you? What do you have percolating in the back of that fertile mind of yours, something that we can look forward to in the relatively near future?
Yes, like I said, I'm going to be very active on my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be posting a lot of skits, and I plan on doing vlogs. So dates I go on, my daily life, I want to post like every couple of days, because I feel everybody can kind of relate to it too. And they love hearing my stories. And I'm like, they're real stories. I'm not that creative to come up with something. It's just the way it is. Yeah. And I see a lot of people do a lot of reaction videos. So certain things I want to start reacting to.
Oh, I would love to see those. Yes.
Yeah. Because there's some stupid show about some psychic that drives around an Uber and picks people up, and then they always go, he's never met the person before. But I'm like, but the producer did, and the cameraman did, and they knew where to stand. So I want to just comment on that, because I found it just so stupid.
Yes. Speaking of stupid, I saw this meme or something on Facebook, and it was like, if I go to a psychic's house and I knock on the door and they say, who's there, I leave.
Exactly. So those are all the things that I want to, make fun of, because it's like what you think.
Awesome. Well, we definitely, definitely look forward to that. And like I said, you have a friend in the show and myself, and so anything we can do to help you and yours, please don't hesitate to ask. So absolutely. Tina Kim, thank you so much for joining us on the Games and Writers Show.
Thank you so much, Craig, and looking forward to more stuff from your channel as well. Love
Absolutely.
it.
All right, thank you so much. We'll talk to you.
You're welcome.